right, we are live. I will check. Audio check. I think we should be good though.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Word. Did I not copy this? Come on. All right, I'm just putting it on the snap.
What if I pull down the shade, if it'll give me better lighting?
All right.
Not really.
I hope people join and just see us just goof off for the first 6 minutes we're supposed to be podcasting.
Lighting in here is just terrible, like, either way.
That's all right. I just said I hope people like join early and just see us like just doing random stuff right before the pod every time.
Did you see me with the shade?
Yeah, like everyone, like I mean, you could just walk over and just whoosh, and then you came back, you put your headphones on, just took it off and just walked back over.
Well, did you see it like shoot up at first?
Oh no, I wasn't paying attention.
Go back and watch the stream.
I'll have to later.
Yeah, people are right on time. They get a little sneak peek.
They always get the behind the scenes.
Always get
the behind the scenes. Pause this for a second. All right, it's back. That's weird. All right. I'm just finishing up my power rankings real quick.
Okay.
All right, I'm good. Let me pull up last night's. Do you want to do the Brady hole in one? I think it'd be funny.
I think we should discuss it.
Okay. Okay. And now all my stats are pulled up. I'm good to go. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Get started in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
How are you? All right?
It went down the wrong pipe.
It's all right. That happens.
Apologize.
Yeah, it's all right. So we have we've been it's been 6 days, Chris. What's been going on? What's been happening?
I've been up in the mountains, central Pennsylvania, the Poconos, basically like off the grid. I haven't been like following anything that's happening in real life.
Oh no.
So I'm back now. I think I'm caught up on everything, but it's weird like getting away like that and just having basically not being on my phone and having no idea what's going on.
It's nice though. It's peaceful. I know.
It is nice.
I'm sure you had a great time. It looked like I saw some pictures. Looks like you had a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And but
Yeah,
we're glad to have you
Fun
back. Glad to be doing the pods again. So we have the match coming up. the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, the whole Tom Brady love fest pretty much. And the video comes out of Tom Brady practicing and hitting a hole-in-one. There's some speculations. There's some people who think that this is fake, Chris. What's your initial thought?
I mean, yeah.
Damn it. I thought it looked pretty fake too.
The drone video, I don't know if it's just like the camera is weird or like it just looks that cool and I don't know what drone footage looks like, but it doesn't look real to me at all.
No, the drone footage.
There's no way that they just happened to be like tracking his shot
when he hit a hole and run.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing that I was thinking about the second he did that was like, I feel like the reaction would, like, the guy just goes, "Oh, looks like that's going in a one." Like, it looks like I feel like they start cheering and celebrating afterwards, but I feel like he would hit it, he'd see it, and then like everyone would start freaking out if he actually hit it.
Right, yeah.
In one. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I hate this whole like media Tom Brady. This whole like but this seems like something he'd do.
Oh yeah, he loves it now.
Like he's done, and we've seen him edit videos where he throws a football into the moon, and like clearly that's fake, but he knows how to edit videos clearly. And
there was another one that I think we had to discuss. I forget what it was of him like throwing a ball.
Oh, into the machine, and then the machine throws it back.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And like this could just be, and that was clearly that like had to be fake too. There's no way.
Yeah.
And so this like is on brand.
Yeah, I don't honestly like. He's probably not fooling that many people. Yeah, actually, no. He's definitely is fooling a ton of people. Because people are dumb and will just believe everything they see.
I was with my buddy, and Bleacher Report put it on the headline. They were like, "Oh, Tom Brady hits hole-in-one in practice," and he goes, "Why are they giving this notification?" I was like, "Yeah, isn't the match like in a week?" He's like, "Yeah, it was in practice. He hit a hole-in-one."
That's the other thing. Is like, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
He hits a hole-in-one.
I know. This is something. This is something that like Trump would have been like, "Oh, like I hit 3 of those. You should have seen my drone footage."
Did you see it? Did we ever talk about that? His press release.
Yeah, after
the hole-in-one.
Yes, I do.
Probably the best thing I've ever read.
I don't think we
need
talked
drone
about
footage of that shot.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it, but I've heard about it. What was it? What was the press conference even originally about?
Well, there was like a couple articles that came out that he hit a hole-in-one, which I don't know why that's a news story, but then he put out like a presidential memo, basically that said, "Yes, it's true. I did hit a hole-in-one," and like described the whole thing. It was incredible.
It's the same type of thing. It's like you said, who cares? Like, because it's Tom Brady, everyone has to care.
Yeah, people care.
Yeah, people have to care.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I mean, who cares? But here we are talking about it, opening our podcast with it.
I also don't know why people care that much about like the match in general.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Like I feel like you guys should be throwing footballs.
At this point, it's not even the professional golfers.
No, they're just
like before. It was like it'd be like Peyton and Tiger versus Brady and Phil or whatever. Now it's just like 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, what if they all suck?
So it's 4
people who don't know how to play professional golf.
Just decent golfers. Like they're not professionals. So I don't know.
I mean, like if this is the shit that he's doing when he's not retired, what type of shit is he going to be doing when he is retired? It's going to be ridiculous.
Be a match every week.
It's going to be ridiculous. He'll probably just sign up for the PGA Tour and then go ahead and win it. God. All right. Well, let's move on. Meanwhile, while you're relaxing in the Pocono, in the mountains, I'm over here stressing every night about which Celtics team I'm going to get. Because after Game 3, I thought it was over. I thought
Jekyll and Hyde.
What'd you say?
It's Jekyll and Hyde.
What is
like
that?
One night.
Oh, yeah.
You ever heard that where it's like the guy who drinks the potion and like turns into the monster?
I actually have never heard of that.
No,
I've heard the saying, but I've never heard of it. Huh. But yeah, anyways, this team doesn't know which team it is every game. and we've had 2 good games in a row. And like, I'm back to. I mean, I've said it the whole time. Let's hit it in Celtics in 6. Let's get it. But
You were getting close to saying that.
I almost
Celtics
said
in
5. I
bro.
almost said 5. I know, but
I think you said it, and then you were just kind of like, maybe not. But I could tell that that's what you actually thought. You just didn't want to.
I
Make
look
that your official position.
that, and it was perfect. I didn't need to officially stand it because my official stance holds true. Celtics in 6. It's what it's always been. It's always what it was meant to be. I mean, watch. You're just gonna blow this game in Boston too. They're gonna blow this game in Boston, and I'm gonna spend all week leading up to Sunday. I guess I mean, they play every other day, so I don't even have time to stress. It's like they play every other day, so I couldn't imagine what these players are going through. This is something we were, I guess we could talk about later with both series, but both these teams are at a disadvantage with these games being every other day.
You'd rather have multiple days off?
Yeah, I'd rather. I mean, I know they do. I don't know if they've done this for like. I don't know if they do this every year with the every other day. I haven't noticed, but I mean, it's grueling. Like, these guys are front rimming every shot because they're just beat. They can't, like, they're just tired. Like, half of them are injured. Actually, all of them are injured. They're all injured. They're all playing.
Okay.
And I mean, everyone on both teams. I'm not even talking about the Celtics. I'm talking about both teams. They can't get the proper rest because think about it. You got to play a basketball game. It ends at like 11. You got to fly the next day to Miami and then play the next day until 11.
I know. I mean, that's their job.
I know, and that's what they're supposed to do, but you can't give them an extra day somewhere within these series.
I feel like usually, especially during or like this late in the playoffs, they start to get like at least 2 days off between games.
And like, I mean, not every game has to have 2-3 days off, but give them a break after game 4 or game 5 or something. Like, if they're gonna have to play this extended series, it's grueling. And I'm glad, off on the Warriors side, I'm glad that the Mavericks forced a game 6 or game 5 because either way, whether the Heat win or the Celtics win, they're gonna be way more tired than these Warriors were if they swept them.
Right. Yeah.
They would have had an extra week of rest compared to nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I like the schedule the way it is just because it makes it easy.
Yeah, I like it too.
One game is on this day, and then the next day is the other series, and then it's just back and forth.
And it's great for the companies too. I mean, one day it's on ESPN, one day it's on TNT. You get to know every day, every other day, which it is. It's nice. It's nice for the viewer, but it's got to be a pain in the ass for the player. I've been just shooting hoops in the front yard for every day now, and every day I'm like, oh, my legs are getting a little sore. I couldn't imagine what they're doing. I could not imagine.
Well, they might be in a little bit better shape than you.
I'd hope so. I don't think Kyle Lowry is though. I think I might be in better shape than Kyle Lowry. Let's get to the actual games. The last 2 games, the Heat just couldn't score. It felt like game 2. It felt like It's funny. I came on. I was ready for the pod on Tuesday after we lost game 3, and I was ready to come, be like, oh, like I can't believe I was so hyped for this team. And then I was like, and I feel like such an idiot. All I had to say was no one could score on the Heat, and everyone started scoring on the Heat, and then everyone stopped scoring on the Heat again. Like all of the points I said, I feel like 6 days ago, even though we had this horrific loss. All the points came back to the Celtics side, to exactly what I was talking about on Friday. And there's 100% a chance we get blown out in game 6. I wouldn't put it past the Celtics team. But if they keep playing with this type of attitude and this type of effort, they're gonna advance to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything that we were saying before the series in the games that the Celtics have won is like proving us right. And it almost feels like the 2 games they've lost have just been like, oh, just like throw them away.
And I think the reason why it's so like, oh, just throw them away is because they're all self-inflicting wounds.
Mhm.
You look at these games that they've lost, and like what in Game 3, Tatum had 10 points, and
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how many turnovers we had. We had 23 turnovers that game. You can't win a basketball game 23 turnovers. And they started the quarter off like 25-1. They were down the first quarter, and they finished the first quarter with 39-18. Like, that's automatically you're starting with a 21-point deficit. So these games, it feels like when the Celtics lose, it feels like they're losing to themselves more than they are to the Heat. I don't know if that might not be true, but that's what it feels like
if
from
you're
a
the
fan.
better team, that's generally what happens. Because obviously, like, if the Celtics are playing their best ball, this Heat team should not be able to compete with them.
And
Unless
I
you just
think
get like ridiculous games from Butler.
with like the reason why, like, because I do think the Celtics are a better team. I have thought that the whole time, but I think the Heat are a smarter team. I think they have
Mm-hmm.
a great proven coach, and
Better coach. Yeah.
yeah, I love Adoka, but he's a first year coach, so it makes sense that he could get out coached. And I mean, half the team can't dribble. Like, actually half the team can't dribble. Tatum can barely dribble. Brown can't dribble for shit. Smart can barely dribble, and White can't dribble for shit. So that's like four important players that don't know how to dribble basketball. And Brown, I mean, he lit it up. He lit it up in Game 3 as well, but he had, I think, 9 turnovers himself. And in this game 5, he took over at the end, where all was forgiven. All was forgiven for the dribbling, because when he has those stretches, where he just takes over the game, whether you like it or not. Whether he's good or bad, he's taking over the game. He just does these ISO possessions where he dribbles for 23 seconds and then shoots the basketball, whether it goes in or not. And when it goes in, it looks great. He looks like an all-star. He looks like a superstar. But when it's not, he looks like a bozo that doesn't know how to play with a team. So I just hope that they keep the mentality of what they've been having, and I hope they want to win. Like, that was really, like, Game 3, it looked like, oh, we stole one in Miami, whatever, we'll just we'll win it in Boston. That's what they just thought, and they didn't actually put in effort. So
Think they're getting complacent?
I don't think they are I think they were complacent a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got knocked in the mouth in Game 3, and they really showed, like, I mean, at home, that is embarrassing at home. So they saw what it was like to lose like Miami did in Game 2. So they came in with some real effort and actually tried. And another big thing is, I mean, Robert Williams is they're scared to go to the basket when Robert Williams is there.
Mm-hmm.
He has this presence where they can't even shoot 3-pointers in the corner because he can just jump over and block it. It's actually insane. His arm length, and he's not even the tallest. Like, I'm sure he actually is the tallest guy on the court because Adebayo's not very big, but his arm length is what's really
7'6" wingspan.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's incredible.
And he's so athletic too. He has the hops to go with the 7'6" wingspan. Where Jimmy Butler, that's why he hasn't been good the past 2 games. He just doesn't drive. And he's doing these. The Celtics learned that they can't press up against him or else do some chippy thing to get a foul call. And now with Robert Williams, he's just scared. He's just not even going in. So
yeah, I mean, Butler. Like, looking at Butler's numbers, he's been almost a non-factor.
Yeah, he's been horrific the past 2 games. So like, all of the starters really have been horrific the past 2 games. Yeah. And Kyle Lowry, they are screwed with Kyle Lowry. Like, they now have him for what, 3 more years? They just signed him to a contract. So, and I don't know what it is. I know he's injured. I know he has some hamstring problems. But why are you playing him then? Why has he got 25 minutes just running up and down the court?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had 1 rebound last game. That's it. That was it.
It's like the Tony Snell performance.
Yes, he did. He pulled a great
out
Tony
there,
Snell.
like,
just out there running around.
Face.
Yeah,
running
dude,
around.
he's doing the cardio.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, So my thoughts are still the same on this Celtics series. I mean, it could go either way, but Celtics in 6. Let's get it. Let's go to the finals. Excited.
Are you more nervous at all than you were last pod?
Yeah,
Or
of
is it
course.
still just
Because
okay?
there's a world where we just show up completely flat. I'm nervous. I'm way more nervous. Yeah, I'm way more nervous than I
Okay.
was last pod. Because I don't know what to expect from this team. I don't
Mhm.
know if they're gonna show up and especially with Tatum's now like shoulder injury, where you could tell this game 5, even though he dropped 39 or 30 something last game on the quote unquote hurt shoulder, it just it wasn't the same. You could tell there was some sort of nagging pain there because he was front rimming all of his threes and couldn't hit anything. So hopefully he kind of learned towards the end of the game how to play on that shoulder. Like he drove in, took a little more mid range, went to the hoop. I like how he's going to the hoop. He's going to the free throw line. That's something we haven't seen all season from Tatum, and really has been. That's like his next step, I believe. That's his next step to his superstardom is getting to the foul line. If Jimmy Butler can do it, why can't Jason Tatum?
So what's the deal with his shoulder? Like, what's wrong with it?
So at the end of game 3, I don't know. I'm guessing I think you were in the mountains at this point, so I don't know. Game 3, he reaches for a loose ball because he can't dribble, and it bounces away, and because Oladipo swiped at it, he goes to reach for it, and he must have like just pulled it out of socket or something, and so he had to leave that game. Then they put it back in, and he came back out and sucked. So they should have just left him out at the end of the third game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you can't leave your superstar out. Like I get it, it's the NBA, and unless it's James Harden can get benched and they can come back and win. But, anyways, he like pulled it. I guess he pulled his shoulder, and
Okay.
all throughout game 4, he was like stretching it, trying to get it right, and you could tell there was something a little off. But I don't know. I think he should be fine.
Gotcha.
Hopefully. All right. Do you have any questions, any thoughts on this series? I think I explained pretty much all my thoughts on it.
You covered pretty much everything. I mean, I think you're right about the game 3 kind of woke him up a little bit, and now we're seeing like the true Celtics. I mean, 80 points in back-to-back games is pretty ridiculous for a team that was the 1 seed.
And the best 3-point shooting team in the season, and they were horrific. They were 15% last game, and I don't even want to know what they were the game before. Game before they were, I guess I do want to know. I mean, I guess they actually turned out to be 38% towards the end, but still.
So they're kind of proving us right in the sense that they were frauds as a 1 seed.
And how much are you gonna say a fraud is a 1 seed when they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then maybe lose to the 2 seed? So I don't know. I wouldn't call them too much frauds, but I do think they need something else. They need something besides. They can't just run it back. This Heat team, if they do lose, they need to make a big splash, and I think they can. I think it's possible. Pat Riley's a genius, so there's definitely a way they can get something. Did you see the Joel Embiid tweets?
No, I didn't.
Joel Embiid was very active on Twitter after the loss, and the first thing he tweeted out was, "Heat need another star." I'm all for it. I mean, maybe not the Heat. Get him to like the Warriors or something. Get him in the West. But I would love to see, after all this time of the process, he'd never leave Philly. Him just be like, you know what? I do like Philly, but I like winning more, so I'm gonna leave. I think that would be.
I mean, I think Philadelphia would burn down if he left.
Oh, the
Or if
city
they
would
let
be
him
in shambles. The city would be in absolute shambles. And speaking of shambles, this is a perfect transition into ESPN, which ESPN is. I can't believe they have. I mean, ABC technically has it, but it's ESPN. They have the damn finals, and I hate everything about their pre, middle, and post game. It's awful. It's really terrible. The pregame is just non-existent. Really, they start the tip off 15 minutes after they say they're gonna start it, and then their halftime is literally 60 seconds. Like, it's 60 seconds long, and all it is Stephen A. Smith yelling about something.
Yeah. I've stopped watching, I think, every single ESPN show that exists. The only time I see anything about ESPN is when I see a clip. Every once in a while, I'll watch SportsCenter.
I like
if I wake
SportsCenter.
up and I'm like, let me throw SportsCenter on.
I like SportsCenter. I like Scott Van Pelt, and I like how it goes through like everything throughout the day. But they're having technical difficulties throughout the broadcast. They're having what was I gonna say? Their announcers, like their halftime show is Stephen A. Smith and who's the actual basketball player that they have? Let me look up the ESPN cast. But it's a bunch of bozos.
Perkins, is it?
No, I mean it's sometimes Perkins, but Jalen Green. That's
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And he's like the worst NBA player you could possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing? Like that? How does TNT have 3 Hall of Famers, and you can't get any? It
is shocking the
you get Jalen
discrepancy
Rose
between the TNT show and the ESPN.
TNT
Like
blows
those guys,
them
that's
out
like
of
the
the
best
water.
TV show on the planet right now.
Oh, it's the best sports TV show in the market. You literally can't get better. It's gonna be. I wish they did after the ESPN games a post game show on TNT. Like I honestly believe it. I'd watch it too. They have great post game. They have great halftime because they actually analyze stuff. This is just Stephen A. like yelling about everything else, and
he's not a good guy to have on those shows. He's a good guy to have
in the morning
on the debate show. And
yeah,
that's it. Like he shouldn't be an actual analyst.
Also, I feel bad for Stephen A. Smith because that guy was up at 11:30 on all the ESPN shows talking post-game and halftime and pregame. And then he's got to go to sleep and wake up at 8 in the morning to do Get Up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, poor guy is doing...
He does Get Up now, too?
Does he do... I mean, I don't know what his show is. First Take?
First Take is, like, on it. It's on a little later.
Let me look up when they come out. Because they... Oh, okay. So it's at... What is it? 2 p.m.? Okay. It seems like they've rotated. It goes 2 p.m., 10 a.m., 12, and then 2, and then 10 again. That's weird.
It could just be reruns.
Oh, wait. Yeah. That's because it's the weekend. Sorry. Yeah, so it's at, apparently, but Monday it's at 10. See, I don't get it. I don't care. I don't get it. Stephen A. Smith does too much work. That's all I got. That's all I got to say. He does way too much work.
He's become the guy at ESPN that they just, like, milk.
Yeah, because
Greeny.
Oh, and Greeny sucks. Greeny blows. Like, there's that, and who else is on it? Wilbaum. Wilbaum sucks too. I mean, there really is just.
You're right. Like Van Pelt's the only guy on there that I like. I think.
And I like Stephen A., but I don't like to see him on every show.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know how people watch those shows like for an extended period of time. Like if I watched 20 minutes of First Take, I would want to like blow my brains out.
When I used to, like, over the summer, and I'll probably do it this summer a little bit, but whenever I watch Cowherd, it's a 3-hour show. It's like I just leave it on in the background and just kind of listen to it no matter like what I'm doing throughout the day. And I look up and I'm like, they've been talking about the same shit for 3 hours. Because there's nothing else to talk. Like there's not even any sports going on, and they do it every day still because they have to. And they're just talking about bullshit for 3 hours. It's ridiculous. And then hour 3 comes by.
And they bring in like guests to argue with them
about the same topic.
Give it a break.
It's like, all right. It's like what they do is like they start off the show with one topic, and then hour 2 comes in and they start off the hour 2 with the same topic. And hour 3 starts off with with a guest and then the same topic. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
But I mean, I can't. I hope ABC has a better production than this is. They have to. I think this is. Yeah. It seems like this would. If I was watching this, I'd be like, oh, this is just a regular season game. There's no way this is the Eastern Conference Finals, and these bozos are announcing it. And can Jeff Van Gundy please call it on both sides?
Oh, I love Jeff Van Gundy.
I liked
I
him
think he's the
earlier in the
best.
series, but the more like, and he just can't. He can't pick sides, bro. Stop picking sides.
Mhm,
He does it all the time, and I get it.
mhm.
You're a former New York Knick, and so is Mark Jackson. So you don't like the Celtics.
Mark Jackson is not good.
No, Mark Jackson's not good.
He is he's very bad. And there's literally no reason for him to be there either.
No, it's who it's because it's Green. It's
Mike Breen.
Frank Breen, and he's great. He has great
Mhm.
calls, and Van Gundy, and then Mark Jackson's just there.
Yeah.
He's always there to give his little input. That's just whatever.
That means nothing.
I know. All right. Well, I'm tired of raving on ESPN. I don't really care about them. Let's actually, I guess I do care about them. I guess I care a lot because I have to watch every other day. I have to watch their program. All right. Well, let's talk about the other series that's on the other side. The Warriors, they finally lost the game. It seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like this was like a game they didn't really care about.
The series is kind of a bummer.
Both these series are kind of bummers.
Yeah.
They're both blowouts and for every game. And this series, it sucks that it's not 2-2 right now.
Mhm.
Heading into game 5.
I mean, the Mavs had game 2 like in the bag. They were up big, and then that leak disappeared in the third quarter and couldn't pull it out.
I don't understand
That was their chance to like make this a series.
Yeah. It really was.
And even game 3 though, because like they had that one at home, and that was another one where they won that one. It changes everything.
That one, Reggie Bullock hits 3 threes out of his 20 that he attempted, and you win that game. It's funny when I'm watching basketball and I'm like, man, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know exactly what I'm talking about when I hop on this. Like, they don't have enough players. They really don't. And the Warriors defense still isn't great. I don't think it's world beaters. Like, the Mavericks had open shots, especially in that game 3. A lot of open shots. They just couldn't hit. None of their players could hit it. And when I said you're gonna lose games when Luka scores 40, he scored 40 twice in the series, and they've lost both games.
Yeah. At some point, and because the playoffs are so long, like at some point it can't all be on one guy.
Yeah. And
they've had a couple games throughout these playoffs, like games where Brunson will blow up, or Dinwiddie will show up, but
it's not enough. It's
inconsistent.
Yeah. It's too inconsistent. It's not enough, and you have too many. Like Spencer Dinwiddie, even though they won this last game, he had 10 points. He could get 25 the next game, or he could get 5. Like all of these guys, you can't trust any of them. That's the main issue.
No.
Is there's no trust with any of these guys. They're all good players, I think. Like it seems like a pretty deep team. They kind of like all these players, but there's no go-to guy besides Luka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all. I mean, not necessarily role players, but like second fiddles, I guess. They're good to have around.
Yeah.
But none of them are knighted. It's no like Brown and Tatum or anything like that.
Yeah, Luka doesn't have that
Curry
other
and Clay.
Yeah, exactly. There's no other all-star to go with Luka. And the biggest part I've seen this series with Luka's game, and I think it's probably like the only flaw in this kid's game, is that he can't stay in front of anybody. Don't know how it's possible, but he just can't stay in front of anybody. And when he got dunked on by Andrew Wiggins, for them to blow that game, oof, what a that's something. Not Andrew Wiggins. Like, you can't let Andrew Wiggins do that to you. And it's not like, I'm saying, he's not a superstar, but it's just funny. Like, you can't let Andrew Wiggins do that to you. And it's funny. I'm still waiting on this. I don't know. Like, I've seen, like, Curry in this game at 31, and he had 20 in the last game. But I'm still waiting on that Curry game. I feel like it hasn't happened all playoffs yet.
You sweating about it?
Maybe that's why I want the Curry game to happen. I don't know, but if he goes the whole playoffs without having that incredible game, maybe that just means he's due. But I don't know.
I mean, it's also like they're winning without it.
Yes,
he doesn't need to be 2016 MVP Steph Curry.
Yeah,
like,
that's
they have
true.
a bunch of scoring options.
This team is so like it's perfectly set up. There's not really any like they could use another center. I guess that would be like their biggest flaw. But besides that, and if Looney keeps getting all these boards, it's like everyone on this team can play. And in this last game, they started not started, but they started playing Kuminga and Moody more and Jordan Poole more. And it's funny, I feel like they win that game if they kept him in. I don't know if that's crazy or not, but they were hot. They were ready. They were bringing back the Warriors, and they were stopping the Mavericks on defense. And they couldn't. The second they subbed him out, it felt like it was over. So I don't know. That could be just the moment. What's recency bias? Everyone talks about recency bias all the time, but I feel like
when you got guys in there like playing hot, you gotta ride
the hot hand. And I think they like. It's funny, they came in and Steph Curry came in and just missed a couple threes, and it's like, all right, you should have just kept the other guys in. They were hot.
Yeah.
What's really crazy, Chris, is Jonathan Kuminga is our age.
That is ridiculous.
He's 19 years old, and he's playing with the Golden State Warriors in an Western Conference Finals and scoring 17 points.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm actually older than him.
Oof. That's crazy.
So,
that is nuts. And
that is pretty wild.
You always hear people like, wait, it starts getting weird when people are older than you when you're older than people in the NBA. I thought that was gonna hit when I'm 21, not when I'm 19.
Yeah.
And,
or even when you're 25.
Yeah, these guys are my peers. These guys went to high school at the same time that I did.
Yep.
So it's impressive. That's awesome. I love Kuminga. I think he's gonna be a great part. It's just the one thing I will admit though, it would be great to see the wise guy out here.
I know.
It really is sad. And every time there's trade rumors about him, I just get sad and sadder and sadder. If he gets shipped off to the Pacers, I'm gonna be depressed. Oh, the poor wise guy's gone. But they could use him too. It feels like if he was right, they could really use him. And I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
It is crazy that they had what was he, the second pick?
Yeah.
They had the second pick. Didn't hit at all.
And they're still in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. I think the game plan is just have your stars get hurt.
That it really is they got so lucky with that because
I know.
They got Curry hurt for what, 2-3 not even 2 seasons, and they got out of that they got the wise guy, Kuminga, Moody, and I think Poole. I don't know what pick Poole was, but
Poole was late though.
Yeah, he was late, so that might have been one of their normal draft picks. Yeah, he was 28, so that was probably their normal draft pick. But I guess it was the other ones were their normal ones too. It was just, Curry was injured. But anyways, this team is really well built, and they're set up for a while now. This could be, and if Curry wins a championship this year, he could he's gonna make his way in the top 5 all time. Because think about it, they could have a whole nother run of this. I feel like they could either package all these guys and get another star, or they could just ride it out. I would.
Yeah, there'd be no reason to.
Yeah, I would just ride it out. But they have extended their dynasty past these Kevin Durant years where everyone thought it was over. Now here they are. They're back.
But now they're fun again.
They are fun again.
I've always liked Curry. I think he's probably is the most fun player to watch in the league when he's hot. And when Durant came, it just kind of ruined that a little bit. It's now it's that they're gonna win, but now they're fun again. So
yeah, that's true. I still don't think people are gonna be happy about seeing them in the finals, but they definitely are fun again. They're more easily to root for. You definitely can't. You couldn't have rooted for those snake teams, but
no.
All right, what else? What else we got? Oh, big news coming from the NFL. It feels like every year it's the same story. Colin Kaepernick out here actually working out with a team. What are your thoughts initially, Chris?
I literally don't care at all. He's not gonna sign.
That's
He's done. He's been done for years now. Like we've gone through it.
I saw a
It's
tweet
over.
today. I don't know who it was who tweeted it, but it was like some like reporter. It actually like, I actually just like sat there for a second and just like thought, because I was like, what? Like, how did this guy even come up with this? He was like, because of the rest, because he hasn't played since 2017. Colin Kaepernick is a better option for the Panthers, Falcons, a couple other teams that don't have quarterbacks. He would be a better starter than what they have now. And I want to go because I'm all for him getting signed as a backup. Like, I don't really care. Like, if you want to sign him, go ahead, sign him. I'm not like, oh, he needs to be out of the league. Like, I don't care. If he wants to be in the league and he deserves to be, that's all I care about, is that he deserves to be in the league. If he deserves to be in the league, he'll get signed. And since 2016, he hasn't deserved to be in the league.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't realize is people forget, like, he sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he got benched. He wasn't the starter by the time he got cut. So,
And it's been the same conversation every time that this happens. People are like, oh, like, it's not fair to him. And, you know, did some of the owners maybe not want him in the league? Yeah, probably. But also, you're right, like, does he even deserve to have a roster spot at this point? Like, wouldn't you rather
he's
give that
34.
roster spot to a young guy
He's 34 years old. Why bring in Colin Kaepernick?
just as bad as him,
Yeah, and
just as good as him?
like, so a couple of the owners probably, like, I'm sure a couple of the owners said, like, hey, we're not even going to try this guy out because, and the people, like, this is going to be a weird comparison, but you got to follow with me for a second. People talk about Baker Mayfield, how he's a distraction and distraction in the locker room, a media distraction. And that's caused him to be just sitting on the Browns' backup as of right now. But what do you think Colin Kaepernick is? He's the biggest distraction he would be the biggest distraction in the NFL anywhere he goes.
Yeah, immediately.
And the whole team is going to be focused, all the media questions, all the reporters, all the beat reports, everything would be focused on Colin Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm an owner and he's not very good, why would I waste a roster spot?
No, there's literally no reason to.
So that's all I gotta say. I guess props to the Raiders for, they were saying on ESPN yesterday. Raiders, pushing the boundaries. I guess, like, sure, they're not gonna sign him. Like,
trying to improve their image after having like half of their team either arrested or.
I also saw on Twitter today.
Felons.
And I could be completely wrong about this take, but I saw on Twitter today if the Raiders sign Kaepernick, that number 7 jersey is going to be all over Vegas. What? They're going to buy a backup quarterback's jersey who hasn't played in 5 years?
Maybe.
There's no way. And did you also see the commercial that Colin Kaepernick made?
Mm-mm.
He literally directly compared the NFL to slavery.
Oh.
And I have no room to talk about any of this, but the commercial, I'm just analyzing the commercial. It shows all the players, and of course he picked all black players because apparently there's no white players in the NFL. And they line them up and they're taking the measurements, and then it's flashbacks to slavery when they're taking the measurements of the slaves. It's like, are you kidding me? You are getting paid to play football here, man. Are they not gonna measure your height and weight and like your skill? Like, do they not want them to judge your skill level and just sign everyone? Like, I'm losing my voice over this. I don't understand this whatsoever.
I don't even know what to say for that. And not only they're getting paid millions.
Way more than I'll ever see.
More
than I ever see. And it's like, that's what you play the game for. You play the game to get measured and be on an NFL team and get a payroll. Yeah. That's why you play. So now he wants to play football again? Pick a lane here, buddy.
That's what's
pick a lane. Like, you can't say like, oh, NFL's bunch of scumbags, and they'd be like, "Oh, you want to sign me to your NFL team?"
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Right.
you know what I bet they did in that workout? Bet they measured him. I bet they measured his
Mhm.
weight too. God, that just drives me insane. And
Yeah.
I could be, I could be completely wrong. This could be, but I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I do not think I am.
No matter what goes on there, like the money that they're getting, I think is enough to
But no,
separate
and
it.
no matter what goes on is they're measuring them so they can play football. They're
Yeah.
measuring them so they can get the right equipment so they can play football properly and safely. That's what's
Yeah.
going on there. Like that's what doesn't make any sense to me. There's no underlying like thing here. You go home after practice. You go home to your own home that you paid
Mhm.
for with your own money. It's not like you're stuck there in the training facilities.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm tired of talking about it. So I'm moving on. Moving on from the Kaepernick discussion. I feel like this is once a year thing, doesn't it?
It is once a year, and
Ugh.
I'm tired of it.
So, on a funnier side of football, college football to be exact, have you been seeing the Jimbo Fisher
Oh
and
yeah,
Nick Saban beef?
love it.
Oh, I'm all
I
for
love
it.
stuff like that. I love it when the old guys get like chirpy with each other.
Because yeah, especially now with all the new like they're allowed to be open about it, more open about it. So they're just going off on each other.
Mhm.
And it really is like if I'm Jimbo Fisher, I'm pissed too. How is Nick Saban out of everyone going to be talking about how they paid for athletes?
Mhm.
Like, come on, man.
So if you haven't been following it, basically what happened is Nick Saban on the record was like criticizing the NIL deal and like called out Texas A&M and said that they bought every one of their players because they like I guess helped them get NIL deals like immediately. And then Jimbo responded and like freaked out on him, basically telling him he was like, if you're going as past,
No, he was like basically like
I
if
don't-
you wanna call something
stuff.
out, I'll bring the skeletons out of the closet if you want.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that. There's some sneaky stuff going on over there, so there's
And
no
which
room to
like
talk.
no shit, of course there is.
There's a reason why they get 5 stars every year. Like, of
Yeah.
course, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure a ton of them want to play for Nick Saban, anyways. But
Mhm.
like, of course, they've been paying them ever this whole time. Like, they have to be, and that's such a like Nick Saban. I think he's a smart guy. I think he does a lot of smart things. Bozo move by him.
Yeah,
How you gonna
that
do
makes
that knowing what you do?
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Because he's a baby. Like
Yeah,
he's been waiting for so long that when he doesn't win,
he doesn't know what
guys
it's
got
like
it.
to lose.
No, he has no idea. So he just throws people under the bus. It's not fair. The system is biased against me.
My what my question is, do you think they bought all their players? Like I think they kind of like I'm sure they did.
I think they kind of did.
They probably did.
I mean, the problem with the new rules is like nobody knows how they work really.
Yeah.
You can get away with it now.
Mhm.
You can sign like the kid that transferred from I think it was Kansas State to Miami in basketball. Transferred and then it immediately came out that he got like this huge NIL deal. I was like, I wonder why he transferred.
Yeah, and
So like
there's no way
I
to
don't know.
tell. You know, there's no way to tell whether it's the NIL deals or it's the program or the coach or whatever. So
Mhm.
people are gonna say whatever they want because no one can tell. No one can prove them wrong. You know.
Right. Well, and at this point, it's not even like they're necessarily doing anything wrong. Like,
No, they're not doing anything wrong at all.
There's nothing breaking the rules about having a booster like sign a kid to a deal with their company.
Yeah.
And then he just comes to play for that school.
And I think it's now it's finally like, all right, Saban, like we even the playing field for you.
Mhm.
And Saban ain't happy. He doesn't want it even.
Yeah,
He wants
of course
it.
not.
Yeah. And so speaking of NIL deals, did you see the kid from one of the kids from Texas? I have no idea what his name is. I'm not even gonna look it up. But he has a Lamborghini deal. That's sick. That's got to be the
Pretty
best
awesome.
one.
Yeah.
A Lamborghini deal. That's awesome. But I like it. I like how these kids are finally. I mean, of course, I love how these kids are getting paid. They're finally getting paid for what they do. and they deserve it. This is what they deserve. So if Texas A&M has the best NIL deals, go to Texas A&M. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. That's the other issue is like Saban complaining about it. It's like, well, you've been profiting off of them for years now, your whole career. Like, you're winning all these championships, making all this money, and they're not seeing a dime back. Unless, of course, they go to the NFL, which a bunch of them do.
It's the same thing as
But
Dabo Sweeney was talking about that a couple
yes.
years.
Yeah. Oh, and he is such a crybaby about it.
Yeah, he's the worst. He really is the worst. Like, and he's
Lies
like
a little bit.
Yeah, but he's like advocate to not pay these kids. Like he
I know.
has openly said that he does not want to pay these kids, which is ridiculous. So,
I don't know how you come play for a guy like that when.
Yeah, I don't know how they're still getting recruits.
You guys don't deserve any money.
Yeah, I deserve all the money, not you guys.
Yeah, basically.
That's and that was your point with Nick Saban. All this time, he's been reaping the rewards, and all these kids are getting. All the kids that are putting in the work and not making it in the NFL are just getting screwed.
Yeah, but they probably are getting a little bit of money.
Somewhere in there.
Under the table.
Yeah, there's somewhere under some couch cushions that there's some cheddar. So, that's what they got. All right. So since we missed Wednesday and there was no top 5 Wednesday, we're gonna do a little power rankings for the NFL. I want to try to sprinkle some NFL stuff in while we wait for the season to start. So, since there was no massive news that happened, let's do our top 5 NFL teams going into the 2022 season. And
should we start this one at the bottom? Start at 5.
Yeah, let's start at 5. This is gonna get spicy because I had a little surprise at 5, but I like it. Nah, I started first. Yeah. All right, you go first.
All right, I have the Cincinnati Bengals at 5. I think them going to the Super Bowl is enough to include them in it, but I feel like I've also seen enough sports that when you have a team that has like a dream season like they did, it isn't easily replicated. So I'm still a little bit hesitant to put them in there, but I trust Joe.
I did not have them in my top 5 at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, we've seen enough sports. We've seen the Super Bowl hangover happen. And it happens, seems like, every year without a fault that one of the two teams that makes the Super Bowl is going to suck the next year. And I'm not saying they're going to suck because I think Joe Burrow is that guy. And I think they have a decent team around him. I think they're finally boosting their offensive line. But I think a lot of things had to go their way to make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I left them off. Mm-hmm. So my number 5, I base this just looking at rosters. Just looking at the rosters, looking what's going on. I have the New Orleans Saints as number 5. Even just hear me out. Everything on that team there's not a flaw on that team besides Jameis. Jameis is it. Everything like they've had a great defense these past couple years, and they maintain it every year. They just keep getting better on defense. Then they got better at offense with Jarvis Landry. They drafted what's his name? Did they draft Garrett?
Olave.
No, not Olave. And now they have Mike Thomas back. They have Alvin Kamara still.
Landry.
They have Landry now. I don't even know. Their tight end last year was some rookie from Miami that actually turned out pretty well. I think his name was like Jawan James. I don't know. That's just getting too far into it. But it all rides on Jameis. If Jameis can play well and not turn the ball over, this could be a deep playoff team.
Yeah. I mean, how much did you trust Jameis?
That's the issue. Is how much can you trust Jameis? And like you could see, like I missed a couple teams I left off on here that I just think have bigger flaws than quarterback play. I think you can hide quarterback play to an extent. And you look at some people have the 49ers as top 5 teams. And like how much do you trust Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance? It's the same question. So I like the Saints roster, and I think they're going to make some noise this year.
I don't hate that. I almost put the Niners in my top 5.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I'm all in this.
You're a complete 180.
I love it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've sang Jameis's praises for a while, and now it's like the year where
There's no
like,
excuse.
okay, time to show us something.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
Now it's time.
We've seen him throw for 5,000 yards. We've seen him throw for 30 touchdowns. But that year he also threw for 30 picks. So we gotta if we can eliminate turnovers, I think this team can.
And
be
he
really
was
good.
looking decent before he got hurt. Like, they were 5-2, I think.
Yeah, they were good before he got hurt.
So, and he's no worse than Drew Brees was.
And you gotta look I think one of the main things is you gotta look at who's thrown to last year. He was throwing a bunch of nobodies.
True.
So now that they have an improved wide receiver core, a much improved wide receiver core, they can actually make some noise and make it be for real.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
I like that. I like that as a sleeper. At 4, I have the Chiefs.
So do I.
I still trust it.
Yeah, I have a little part of me thinks they're gonna be almost better without Tyreek. I feel like when you let me get to it.
I didn't say anything.
When you eliminate the safety valve of Tyreek Hill and just oh F it, Tyreek's up there somewhere, and now they're actually gonna have to scheme plays that don't just require the fastest guy in the NFL to get open, because he gets open every play. So it seems like they're of course they're gonna be more limited without that, but it seems like they could be more creative with the wide receivers that they have now and maybe have some more fun with this offense.
Yeah, that's true. When we know Andy Reid loves to have fun.
Yes, he's a big having fun guy. Their defense is still a little worrisome.
Yeah.
I don't think they
improved. But again, this is
much.
a team that was just in the AFC Championship and was favored in that game
by a lot.
So I don't know. I feel like it's not. Tyreek's a big loss, but it's not big enough to just knock them off of that elite team pedestal.
And I think
they're still the best team in that division.
Oh yeah. That whole division is having a crisis of who's the best person in that division. But it's gonna be the Chiefs. Let's not pretend this team isn't when you have Mahomes. And what I'm excited about with the Chiefs is we get to see Mahomes without Tyreek Hill. And I hope he proves us that he actually is the guy that we all think he is. And it's not just a product of this amazing offense. So, I don't know.
Who do they have at receiver right now?
They have Juju. They have Skye Moore, he's a cornerback wearing 24.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about that.
We haven't talked about that. We can talk about that right now. That's hideous.
Skye Moore 24 as a receiver is really not okay.
I was playing.
And I would expect better from Skye Moore because his name is Skye Moore, and that's a cool name.
And that's what he wore in college, so I guess he was just all right. And I don't, that's going to confuse so many teams. Because, personnel-wise, it's you don't really say the names, I'm guessing. I'm guessing you just say the numbers. So it's now it's number 24, but he's out wide. He's a wide receiver.
I hate that.
Yeah,
we're number purists.
We always have been.
A couple days ago.
I want to go back to 80s numbers for the wide receivers. Let's get some 80s numbers back in there.
I don't mind the teens.
No, I don't mind it either.
Keep it consistent.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Chiefs. So number 3.
3, I have the Bucks.
Damn it. I also have the Bucks.
We have the same list.
We definitely have the. Unless you have number 1, switch with number 2. But
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that they might win the Super Bowl this year. I might place that bet down.
They're a really good football team. They really are, and
he's gonna be pissed after last year's loss too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, who else did they get? They got Russell Gage, so they got some depth in wide receiver in case one of them gets injured. I gotta see what else they get. I want to see what else they got in the offseason because I feel like they got a good amount of stuff. Bucks offseason moves. All right, what else did they get? Because I know Russell Gage is a great input for them. Oh, this is a list. I don't need all of these. Jesus, they got Leonard Fournette back. I didn't know they got Logan Ryan. He's not very good, but and they they basically re-signed pretty much everyone that they lost or were going to lose. They signed Chris Godwin. They got Carlton Davis back. They even got Brashard Perriman back. They lost some O linemen, which could be bad, but then they traded for Shaq Mason. I don't know. This is gonna be a good team again, and they were in the divisional round last year, and lost because they couldn't cover Cooper Kupp for one play. So I don't know.
Almost engineered one of the greatest comebacks that's ever been seen.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yes. So
they're plus 700 to win the Super Bowl. That's the second best odds.
They're second best odds
Behind the Bills.
Damn, I almost wish they were
At
a
least
little
on
lower.
this site.
I wish they were a little lower. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I think we both think the Bucs are gonna be good. Let's move on. All right, number 2. Don't tell me it starts with a B. Is it the Bills? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, the Bills. I'm glad I didn't put the Bengals at 5. You literally would just have the exact same list.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Where were they on yours if you had to put them in?
If I had to put them, I don't know. I think I'd put the Niners at 6 and then them at 7.
Gotcha.
All right. I'm surprised the Vikings aren't up here, Chris.
The Vikings, I don't like the Vikings because they're good. I like
I'm
them
just kidding.
because they are who they are.
All right. Well, let's get this. I guess we have to talk about the Bills. Hey, they're a hell of a football team.
Possibly the best roster in the NFL.
You just look at that roster and there's depth everywhere. Like literally, there's not really a weakness on their team. And I guess you could say running back, but then they drafted Cook out of Georgia, and he's like a perfect running back that they need. He's a pass catcher that will be super helpful for them.
Yeah. And it didn't even matter that much.
No, because Josh Allen's really their running back. Like that's So.
And that's not sustainable, but for now it's working.
For now it's working, and they got. I totally forgot they even got Von Miller. I don't think Von Miller's gonna be, a world beater, but I do think he'll be good.
He'll be an impact player.
Yeah, he'll be an impact player. And did they get anyone else at running back? No, they didn't. So, but that again doesn't really matter. They got Jameson Crowder, who I've loved on the Jets the past couple years, and he was a former Redskin, and always good he was always reliable, which is nice.
Yeah,
he's not gonna explode for 200 yards, but he'll get you a good solid production. And then they also drafted Khalil. I can't say his name. His name's Khalil. He's number 10. He's wide receiver. He is from Boise State. He is exactly they're gonna have so much fun with him on that offense. That's gonna be sick. They got OJ Howard, which I didn't even realize.
Oh, jeez.
There literally is depth at they have Dawson Knox and OJ Howard as their tight ends. There's depth at every position here.
Yeah.
So,
who was the guy that caught all the touchdowns in
in the divisional game?
The AFC Championship or the divisional game?
Gabriel Davis.
Davis. That's right.
He's 23. There's so much depth on this team that they literally there's a point where they have to make a run. They have to make it to the championship at least with this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they were there last year, basically.
Yeah, they got the bad luck and had to pair up against the Chiefs. So yeah, technically they were, but there's no excuse. There's got to be no excuse, even if they're playing the Chiefs this year. There's got to be no excuse.
Yeah, at some point you just have to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the year. I think at this point it's turned into Super Bowl or bust for them.
This is the and I think more some than the Browns rosters that we've been saying the past couple years, where it's they don't make the Super Bowl with this roster, they're just trash. But the Browns are the Browns. These Bills, we've seen them win games and win playoff games and go to the AFC Championship and lose. Just had to point it out just to make sure that everyone knows that they lost. So you're right. It's Super Bowl. I think it's time now. I think it's Super Bowl or bust now.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at there.
Yep.
All right. Number 1, Los Angeles Rams.
Washington Commanders. Oh.
looks like we got a different list here.
Yeah, I mean it's when you win, I think that it's only fair that you come into the next season as number 1.
I think that should just be an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
There's been I remember a couple, I think it was after the Falcons Super Bowl, they were actually no, never mind. It wasn't after. There was one season where Pats won it and they're they're the third best team. I was like, come on, they just won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they're the champs. You give them the
They
respect
didn't
until
get
they lose.
worse.
No, and they got better. They got. I mean, I guess they lost Von Miller.
They got Bobby Wagner.
But they got Bobby Wagner. And then who else did they get? They got Allen Robinson, which was ridiculous. And there's still not a lot of depth on this team, but it didn't matter last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think they'll repeat, but
no, I don't think they will
you
either.
gotta give them the respect they deserve.
Yeah, I'm all for respect though. You gotta give them respect until they lose. They have to be number one until they lose.
Yeah.
I think that's just how it should be. They won the Super Bowl, so they have to be number one until they lose.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Agreed.
Any college corner whatsoever?
It's weird now. That segment's
I know segments. It's not the same anymore.
apart a little bit. The guy Jameer Young that committed, the Matha guy, he just withdrew from the NBA draft, so he is officially be a Terp this year.
Nice.
Never expected that he'd actually stay in, but it's nice to confirm it.
That's nice.
And baseball looking like they're going to host a regional. It's cool.
That's sick. Nice.
That's all I got.
Nice. All right. Baseball, my team lost. The coach is probably going to get fired. The season's over. Never. I mean, like, I didn't really care anyways. But then, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. This is a pseudo college corner. It's not my college. But my brother's graduating tomorrow. So shout out to him.
Congrats, Jack.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. We're halfway through and he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just getting a little more real. It's nuts. It's crazy, but it is what it is. All right, I think that does it. Right? You got anything? Sweet. So we'll see everybody on. Are you ready? Are you good for Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, I should be good.
I'm ready for the official switch because
I'm ready.
All right, Tuesdays. We're back on Tuesdays. See you guys all